Yeah.
All right, guys, here we go. Flying high with the Eagles. Philadelphia Eagles talk. We just completed. The Eagles are now 11-4. They're right now they're the 3 seed with a 33-25 win over the New York Giants, football Giants. A
What do you mean
Giants
third
team.
seed? I thought they were second seed.
No, I think right now they're 3 because the Lions. I think if the season ended today, Vahe, the Lions would be the 2 seed, even though the Lions got to go to Dallas this week. That's what I thought.
I think the
Hold on,
Eagles
let me-
jumped over them. I think
Let me look at it. Hold on. Let me look at it right now as we
All
speak.
right, while you're looking at it, let's do the introductions. I am the Godfather. With me is Will Seal, the Deal Sealy.
How's everybody
Jim,
doing?
good. Jimbo, the podcast chaplain. How you doing, Jimmy?
Merry Christmas, boys.
And finally, the Armenian Hammer. And I just want to say that we had dinner the other night at the house of my daughter's boyfriend, Ryan. Absolutely wanted to meet the Armenian Hammer. And to humor him, we were in the dining room and I asked him to turn around. I called the Armenian Hammer across the street. I asked him to come out the door and wave. And
I obliged.
yes, you sure did. I know you're not taking any autographs, but he felt like he had his moment of greatness there, I have to say.
Okay.
We got to
So
get
go ahead,
Ryan
Bob.
an autograph. We got to get him an autograph from you.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, he don't do autographs. The Hammer doesn't do autographs. But tell me what you see, Vahe.
So right now, the tiebreakers. Right now, number 1 is San Francisco. Wins tiebreak over Philadelphia and Detroit based on best win percentages in conference games. All right. Second, Eagles wins tiebreak over Detroit based on strength of victory. Now, this is the caveat. If Detroit goes to Dallas and they beat Dallas, then they're going to be number 2 seed. And probably they end up being a number 2 seed. So as an Eagles fan, you want the Detroit to lose to Dallas. Because if they beat Dallas, then they're going to be the 2nd seed. And if they both win out, San Francisco would be number 1, Detroit would be number 2, and the Eagles would be number 3.
But let me just say this. If Detroit beats Dallas next week and they lose their last game and the Eagles win out, the Eagles are obviously the 2 seed.
That's correct.
Because they have the better record. And
That's
San
correct.
Fran still has to play the Rams.
Rams?
But you know what really stinks is, as of right now, if the Eagles beat Seattle last week, they would have been the 1 seed right now if the season ended today. If they beat Seattle.
In San Francisco, they still have to come all the way to the East Coast, 1 o'clock game next Sunday to play
Washington.
Now, the Commanders, they're not really playing well, but they have to fly, across the country, and it's a 1 o'clock game. The last game is the Rams, and Rams are doing pretty well right now. They're the 6th seed, and I can see that game to be, problematic for San Francisco.
How do you guys feel if the playoffs were to start this week and the Rams came to Philadelphia? Do you guys feel pretty
You're
confident?
not playing the Rams. I thought they would play Seattle to start. Isn't Seattle 7 and the Eagles are 2?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I know, but I'm just saying if the Eagles were to play the Rams, no matter, I don't care where the game
I think they would lose. I think I told you that
they would
yesterday
too.
at your house.
Yeah,
I think
they
lose.
would too because of their defense. But seriously, guys, let's get right into this, okay? Like I'm getting sick of this. I know they won the game, and people are saying we're the number 2 seed. We could be the number 1 seed. They have, in my opinion, they have not played a complete game this season. I think the Tampa Bay game was close. The Rams game, even, they were playing bad up until the second half, and then they came back and beat them. There's a serious disconnect with this team. I don't none of us know. Is it the players? Is it coaching? Is it the scheme? Something is wrong. Guys, can you guys somebody give me the number 1 reason why this is not a complete football team right now? Somebody help me.
I think it has to do with the new coaching staff. And you have a new offensive and defensive coordinators that basically got promoted from, from nowhere. And I think that's a major issue. That's a disconnect. Remember, we were having the same conversation last year about the special teams, right? And we thought the guy was going to get fired. But now, if you look at it, second year in that position, and they're probably the special teams, one of the best units, provided yesterday they had that, the fumble. But in reality, the special teams playing much better than before. So I think it has to do with the coordinators, and players are buying into it. Look at the body language of AJ Brown. Every time he gets hit or something happens, he's really a really angry person, and you don't know exactly where that anger is coming from.
What do you guys think? Who do you think he's mad at? Because he's obviously mad. He's mad. He's pissed.
I think
He's
he
got.
just doesn't
Go
like.
ahead.
I think the offensive coordinator is just the biggest problem. Like that whole offensive scheme and everything that's going on, whether it's Sirianni helping out with the scheme or Johnson calling it. I think that's like the biggest issue with the Eagles is why we just can't put a whole game together. I mean, I feel like on the defensive side of the ball, I'm starting to like what I kind of see. I mean, I like seeing Ringo in there. And it's not like the defense is like that much better. They're still having, giving up big plays, but I just feel more confident because I know that the guy has experience and he's done it. But on the offensive side of the ball, it just seems like the play calling is still so vanilla. I mean, we're lucky that, on that quick screen, it wasn't taken for a touchdown because defenses are just sitting on it now. They know it's coming. We run it so many times, it's just so predictable.
Yeah, they're lucky they were playing the Giants yesterday. The NFL gave them an early Christmas gift with that schedule.
Oh, no doubt about it. But Tyrod Taylor, the third string quarterback, comes in the fourth quarter, and the Eagles make him look like he's Joe Montana. And to be honest with you, I think Taylor's biggest mistake was just firing the ball to a particular receiver in the end zone on the last play. He should have just thrown it up in the air for grabs because he was just too far away on that play. But I mean, it's funny. Well, you're talking more about being happy with the defense than the offense. And I'm concerned with the defense. And I know from a statistical point of view, the defensive backs, they're all young, they're out of position. I think the biggest problem is communicating. But I'm going to focus a little bit on a guy that doesn't get that much criticism, and that's Reed Blankenship. I mean, if you look at the replay on that 70-yard touchdown that Taylor threw to Darius Slayton in the fourth quarter, I mean, it was quarters coverage, and he just took a bad angle on that play. I mean, he's obviously everything is in zone, and he played it like he was going to pick the route. He's not that. That's not what you do when you play zone. I mean, well, if you're playing a deep zone, but if you're up by 2 touchdowns, you can't let anybody behind you like that. And there's been a lot of plays in the end zone that he has been out of position on. So I think that he needs to get as much of the blame of the defensive backs that everybody else is getting. Now, let me throw this question to the group in whole, okay? If Avonte Maddox is able to play in the playoffs, I'll start with Vahe. We'll go around the horn.
Armand,
Who are your three? Go ahead.
Armand,
Go ahead.
You're talking about Blankenship, but he's a safety, right? For the deep route.
Yeah, he's a safety, right?
Yeah, wasn't it the cornerback's responsibility for to basically handle that?
No, it's a zone. It was zone coverage because they said it was quarters coverage, so it was a zone, and his responsibility was that corner of the field. Once he passed, and I don't know who it was in front of him, whether it was Bradbury or the new player. Ringo. Yeah, I don't know who it was, but he took him and he took an angle like he was going to try to pick the route. He thought he was going to throw it inside, and Slayton just ran straight by him for a touchdown. But listen, let's I know he's the safety, but let's focus on the three. Who would your three defensive backs be if Maddox is ready by the playoffs?
I'm going Slay, Ringo, and Maddox.
Me too.
Yeah, I agree. I like how Ringo's been playing. I
Yeah.
think we need to get him the playing time to see what we have in him.
I'm doing
He's a fourth,
anything
too.
to get Bradbury off the field. Like
Yeah.
he's the worst corner in football right now.
He's washed up.
Yeah, no doubt about it. What did you guys think about that ridiculous timeout that they took? Was it fourth down? And they had 17 seconds go off the clock,
And
and then
then,
it produced a big argument on the
yeah,
side.
what was that all about?
Was that at the end of the first half?
It was, I believe, it wasn't at Vahe. Wasn't that at the end of the first half?
Yeah, and also that was another stupid play by Hertz, right?
Hurts
He
should have
took-
ran out of bounds. I mean, it's
That's
And-
when he was patting himself, saying "my bad" or something, right? That's what
Yeah,
we're talking
yep.
about.
Yeah, absolutely. But you could see that there's dissension now with the players and the coaching staff. And also, and like I've talked about this many times over the last couple of weeks, but I think Sirianni is a motivator and he's really good when the chips are up, but when the chips are down and there's a lot of adversity, he just looks like he's like a deer looking in the headlights. He just doesn't know what to say. And I think it's just starting to come back to him somehow. So I don't know. I mean, they're 11-4. And if we were to say at the beginning of the year that how would we feel after 15 games that they're 11-4, we would all universally say, man, this is great. I don't feel this way. They haven't played a complete game. Something's wrong. They're going to get hammered in a game that means everything to them. That's my feeling.
Daddy tells me Sirianni is the NFL version of Doc Rivers. So predictable. It's like there's no creativity.
the fact is, I mean, the Eagles are a good team. They have a lot of talent, but they're with this coaching staff, mainly Brian Johnson, the offense coordinator, and the way he's calling plays, you're not going to be able to win a tough playoff game, especially if it's like down to the wire. I just can't count on him to win a playoff game, and it's unfortunate because there is some good talent on this team.
Oh, there's very good on this team, and it goes back to the coaching. I mean, the thing is that is Kyle Shanahan such a brilliant offensive coordinator or offensive mind that he makes everybody looks good in that system, except when they get exposed. Versus the Eagles, they have so much talent, but Sirianni and Johnson, they're so subpar that basically all this talent makes them look like they're nothing.
Right. Yeah, the Eagles win, despite their coaching staff. 49ers win because of their coaching staff.
Absolutely.
Right.
Now, when I watched that game last night, didn't it look like there were two football teams on a completely different level than the way that the Eagles play?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was fast. That was very fast, very well coached game on both sides of the ball, even though Purdy threw 4 picks.
I was impressed with what Baltimore did. I didn't see that coming. My God.
Well,
Boy, they have
talking earlier,
amazing
right?
team speed.
Lamar Jackson pretty much locked up MVP after last
Yeah.
night.
for
Well,
anybody,
they're
for anybody that was saying that like Purdy is, in the MVP race and, it's not the system, Purdy's good, he could, he's one of the best quarterbacks. I mean, come on. They got all those weapons and he's the reason why they lost.
McCaffrey's the real MVP of that team.
Yeah. It's not even close.
Yeah, but he's a system guy.
Out, that team becomes like an average team. I mean, he's like basically the spark of the whole offense. Take McCaffrey out, there's nothing left.
Well, what about Debo? I think Debo's almost as important as McCaffrey is.
Yeah, they got a lot of weapons.
Yeah,
Samuel, Kittle's really good too.
yeah.
They have weapons. They know how to use them. They put them in position to succeed.
They got just as
Absolutely.
many weapons on the offensive side of the ball as the Eagles, but one offense looks completely different than
Right. Yep.
Absolutely.
That the two teams were in the Super Bowl last year, they're just basically
Yeah.
they're falling apart right before the end of the season.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree 100%. I also want to try something else. Like, we're 15 games into the season. I'm gonna throw like names at you, and let's give me thumbs up or thumbs down on these players. Like, how do you think they're like? Do you think they're playing up to their ability, or not as good to their ability? So we'll call thumbs up, thumbs down. Um, I'm going to go with a lot of guys that I feel that might be on the borderline because we know some of them are a lot better than others. Um, let's start with Milton Williams.
He's playing well. I mean,
Honestly, I like him. I give him a thumbs up. I think he's been doing more than what we'd asked for him as a backup rotational player.
I'll go next. I've watched a lot of tape on him, and he doesn't do anything to wow me. And I know I'm negative on a lot of these shows. Um, I don't know. He gets handled in single, like if there's one guy blocking him, and I know he gets doubled sometimes. I don't know. I just think that he's interchangeable. I don't see him being a major piece. So for him, I can't give him thumbs up or thumbs down. Jimmy, what do you think?
I would give him a thumbs up. I'd give him a thumbs up. I'm with Will.
I just
Okay.
think like those types of guys, they are interchangeable. They're just rotational guys.
Right.
I mean, he's not going to give you like 5, 6 sacks. He's not going to be destroying offensive linemen, but he's a big body, somebody that's going to take up space, and I mean that's just kind of what you need sometimes.
Okay. Jordan Davis.
I think he's for a rookie, I'm giving him a thumbs up just because he's a rookie. I think he hit a rookie wall.
No, he's not a rookie. He's in his second year.
Okay, he's not a rookie, but yeah, I'm still giving him a thumbs up.
Is it still about, I give him a thumbs up. It just comes down to work ethic. And did they know that when they drafted him? They were saying that his work ethic wasn't the best in the world.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd give him a thumbs up still because there's still a lot of potential with him.
Well,
I mean, he's got to be here for the next 5 years. 3 to 5 years.
But I'm talking about this year. This year.
From year 1 to year 2, I mean, I've definitely seen progress. I mean, his game's gotten a lot better, and he's also on the field a lot more. So you hope you could just keep building from there.
Well, last year he did real good at the beginning. Then he got hurt. Then when he came back, he wasn't a factor at all, and it's because of the lingering. I think it was his ankle injury. This year, I feel like the same thing's happening. He started out really good. Now you don't hear much from him. But there's no injury. So did he hit a sophomore wall? I don't know. But same thing on my end. I can't see him as thumbs up or thumbs down either way. Vahe, what do you think?
With all these young players, it's also the scheme too. The thing is that if you don't have a really good defensive coordinator, not putting the players in the best position for them to succeed, and you're asking us to rate them, it's unfair situation. Yes, you could probably hit the sophomore wall, but overall you have a lousy defensive scheme, right? So how can you rate the players then when you don't have a good coordinator?
I'm with you on that.
That's my opinion about it, because these are young guys, right? They came from an excellent programs, and when they're sometimes they do show flashes. So I'm assuming that it's the coaching scheme.
A lot of it comes back to the coaching, it seems, this year.
Especially with young players, man. Like, it's so important that they're in the right scheme and they're learning so they can, get better each year. I mean, with these coaches, I mean, the players might not get better next year.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, like you were saying earlier, like it's almost they're putting them in position offensively to get hurt sometimes with where they are on the field. And the hits they can be taken.
Yeah.
That's so true with AJ Brown. A couple of times he got hit from the back, and he was like slow getting up, and
Yeah.
probably is pissed off that basically they put him in a position that he can potentially get hurt. I won't be surprised if he's really annoyed by the play calling and putting him in this position that potentially he could be hurt.
It's funny because when he didn't speak after the game, he said he hasn't had anything nice to say. I was actually thinking about that. Like, is he bad because they're leaving him out to dry on the field? Like, he's taking these hits. Like,
He's mad at somebody.
he's
Or maybe
definitely mad at somebody.
Yeah, somebody or more than somebody.
And
Let's
it,
move
again,
on.
it came yesterday where he said, "I'm not going to speak. I don't have anything nice to say," or whatever he said.
And to be honest with you, I don't blame him, but he has to be part of the responsibility because on his end, I don't see him finishing his blocks. Yesterday from the game, I didn't see the replay. I watched as much as I could during the game, and it seemed like he really was blocking like a lot better yesterday. Josh Sweat.
Thumbs down for me.
Yeah, he's getting old.
What's he
Yeah.
finally only got a sack yesterday, right?
No,
So his first sack in like 8 games.
he got a sack yesterday.
Did he or did I miss it?
I don't think, no, that
maybe
was.
I'm wrong.
I don't think so, but
Maybe I'm wrong, but either way, it's
Maybe
thumbs
I'm
down.
wrong, but I don't think he did.
I could be wrong. Yeah, maybe I'm wrong.
No, he tackled the player behind the line of scrimmage. That's what happened.
I
that
thought
was-
you said
that
that
was-
was a tackle for
Is
loss.
that- yeah, that
Yes.
was the first play I seen him making in about 8 games.
It was a fourth. They were 4th and 1, and they had a running play, and he tackled the guy like 6 yards behind or 5 yards for a loss.
That's what I'm thinking of. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, thumbs down for me.
So
I'd give it
thumbs down
down.
across the board. I think he's definitely thumbs down, but I don't think it's for lack of effort. It looks like he's always really working, but he just gets blocked out of plays. And I think the biggest negative on his end is he gives up the edge so often because he's so into making that hero play, like a tackle for a loss or a sack, that I think sometimes he gets out of position, but he's always playing hard. But I think he's another guy that don't play smart. I'm going to stay in the defensive line. Brandon Graham.
He's getting old.
Yeah, he is getting old. I mean, I want to say like thumbs down because he's getting old, but honestly, I still give him a thumbs up because
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
making plays when he's in there.
Yeah,
What
like
do-
the
what do
Buffalo
we
game,
ex-
they need.
Think about it, though, like what do we really expect out of getting from Brandon Graham, as old as he is and he's still playing? Like, I don't expect him to have like 10 sack seasons anymore. He's not the same guy. I mean, that's more Harry Roseman's problem for still having him on the team. But when he's out there, he's making big plays. And sometimes when we really need a sack, for some reason, it's Brandon Graham that's getting in there.
Yep. The Buffalo and Dallas game, I think it was back-to-back games where he
Yeah.
made the sacks at the end of the game.
Yeah, I
There's
mean,
fif-
for what I expect from him, yeah, I'll give him a thumbs up. I don't expect anything more though.
Well, they played 15 games and he played really good at the end of 2 of them. So for me, that's definitely a thumbs down. Last guy in the defensive line, Jalen Carter.
I think he's a stud. I mean, even though he made a couple of mistakes, but I mean, those are rookie mistakes, you know.
Yeah,
I'll
You
go
can-
next. Definitely
Yeah.
thumbs up for
Because,
me.
you know,
yeah.
on the while everybody else blowing plays left and right.
Yeah, definitely thumbs up. But so that's most of the defensive line. And we didn't give any glowing reviews really about it. And then, well, obviously we didn't even talk about Fletcher Cox, but I think he's played pretty good, considering what his age is and what they expected out of him. But if you look at that entire defensive line, if you want to take him as a group, now I think they've underperformed in the first 15 games of the year. That's my opinion. I think they've underperformed, and that's supposed to be the strength of this team. And I think that's a reason why the defensive backs are being, are just being killed on pass protection, because I don't think that there is enough pressure by the defensive line. One more. Let me give you one more. He's an edge guy, Hassan Reddick.
Yeah, I'll give him a thumbs up.
So do I.
Yeah,
Works
thumbs
his
up.
ass off. A lot of pressures. Even though he's not getting the sacks, boy, does he pressure.
Dropped
Yeah.
Barkley in the backfield yesterday. What was that? 4th and one or whatever it was.
Yeah. I mean, he's got 11 sacks right now. I mean, if you just look at the whole defensive line, I think Josh Sweat has the next best with 6.5. So that's
He
why
has six. He has 6.5.
6.5. Yeah.
Anybody hasn't had any in what, 7 games?
I kind of made that number up. I haven't really noticed from that.
I know he's got 6.5.
Yeah,
Okay.
I made.
Let's go to the offensive line. Jason Kelsey.
I think
I
he's
hate
getting.
this. Yeah, I hate to say, but I think yeah, just like the silly penalties. I think Father Time's starting to creep up on him.
And he's getting beat on the line of scrimmage. They can't really run the ball up the middle as much because he's getting manhandled by some of these.
Yes, exactly. And that's
Yeah,
funny,
he's great on the plays where he's got to hit and then, and pull and block downfield. That's what his strength is. But I think just blocking straight ahead, and he's a very big part of that tush push also. But other than that, he's got a lot of play. There's a lot of plays out there where a guy gets caught behind the line of scrimmage, and his guy just blew up the play and blew up Kelsey.
Who's supposed to be replacement, Dickerson or Jurgens?
It's supposed to be Jurgens
Jurgens.
next year, and hopefully they think Tyler Steen's going to be the right guard next year. So they still should have a pretty good offensive line. I like Jurgens.
Yeah,
I think Jurgens is going to be a really good center.
Mhm.
Kelsey supposedly told me, he said, "Get this guy. This guy's me." Kelsey supposedly was watching, I guess, film with him on his college tapes, and Jurgens is all the way down the field, 20 yards down the field, blocking people. And Kelsey's like, "That's me. Get this guy."
Yeah. Yeah,
I think he's going to be a really good player for them.
I do too. One more question before we take a break. They had the big three, like it used to, for Dallas used to have what it was Emmitt Smith, Michael Irvin, and Troy Aikman was the big three. Here's one for you. Give me the big three special teams players on this team.
Special.
Britton
big
Covey.
three.
Your boy's
Who are
number one.
Who are the big three? Of course, listen, one of my big three, but go ahead. Let me hear the big three.
I mean, Jake Elliott,
Well, no, yeah, he's the obvious number one.
Britton Covey.
Oh, your boy's pretty close. Covey's pretty close.
Pro Bowl, dude. Pro
And
Bowl.
He's really, dude. I'm telling you, I was thinking about you yesterday.
Possibly first team. Yeah, listen, I got to tell you something. I mean, the big punt return at the beginning of the game was great, but the one where he just came out of nowhere and grabbed that ball on the sideline and went another 10 yards, that was amazing. Like right in front of all the Giants that were getting ready to down the ball. That was amazing. He is the guy. But no, give me your big three. Bye. Give me your big three.
Like you said, the punter, the kicker, and the
And a
Covey.
returner. Yeah,
And
I
the
agree.
That's it. Everybody else is just numbers.
Gotta be.
Well,
I
I'll
don't even
tell
know who
you,
else is on the special teams.
What
Yeah,
I'm
but
so impressed with Covey is he just keeps getting up. He's getting,
Yep.
hit hard, boom,
he had a
boom, and he
catch
just
yesterday
pops up
too.
and he acts like nothing doesn't bother him, which you love.
And he had a catch playing in the slot. I think he played one play and the ball was thrown to him. He played more than Quez Watkins did yesterday.
He's come a long way. What was his story? His first game, they didn't let him in the parking lot because they didn't believe he was on the team.
No, someone thought he was a ball boy, and
Yeah,
that's
so
why
he
they
had to
were
park
going
in
to
the
let him in.
parking lot with the fans or something.
But listen, on my end, if there was a big four, my fourth guy would be Josh Jobe. He's played really, really good, and I think that he should be given. I'll tell you, to me, I think he could be a very valuable player for this team down the road. Remember, he had a terrific training camp playing DB, and he did play and he for a little bit, and he didn't stay in, and then he was buried down in the depth chart, but he's starting to play again. I just think he's going to get better. And I see him as a guy that's going to come in on special situations as well as being a big special teams player. I really do like him. So, that's all I wanted to say about that. Real quick, I'm going to do a commercial. and then we'll continue. Is your kitchen in dire need of repair or needs to be completely replaced? Kitchen World has been in existence since 1987 with showrooms in Philadelphia, Bucks County, and Montgomery County. We do everything. The designers will take care of every detail of the design of the kitchen, right down to the molding details. That's Kitchen World. Visit us at www.kitchenworldinc.com for an appointment. All right. This week, our boy Jonathan Gannon comes to town. Vahe, what is the line?
Oh, 9.5. Well,
Can you
actually,
believe
before
that?
yeah, it's 9.5 right now. I'll double check. I checked it earlier this morning because I knew we were going to have our podcast. Why? You think it's high or it's low?
I think it's about right. I think it's about right.
Yeah, no, I think it's about right. But let me tell you something. They beat Pittsburgh at Pittsburgh. They beat Dallas earlier in the season. They got that good game in them. And remember, Murray's back. Murray has given this football team fits in the past. So I would not go against them right now. And if there's a game that Gannon has circled on his schedule, it's this game here.
It's
So-
actually 10.5. Sorry, 10.5.
And that went so it went up.
Well, I don't know whether for some reason I saw somewhere 9, but right now it's 10.5.
Okay.
And the Rams are 6-point favorites in New York. Wow.
Okay.
And there's 49ers are 13.5-point favorites in DC.
Boy, that's a lot. That's a
Wow, they're
lot.
on the road too. Wow.
Yes, they are. They're all the way at Washington. Yep.
That's a
Yep.
big wow.
And Dallas is 6 points favorite against Lions.
Where's that game at?
In
Dallas.
Dallas. That's why.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's still a lot.
Yeah.
That's still a lot. They're both 11-4, right? Or no, Dallas is 10-5, right?
No, they got five.
Yeah,
They got
Dallas is
5
10.
losses.
Dallas is 10-5 and Detroit's 11-4, right?
Yeah.
The only way Dallas wins a division is the Eagles. Dallas has to win out and the Eagles have to lose out. It's the only way. So
So the Eagles can win the division on Sunday if they win and Dallas loses, right?
either
Yeah.
one, a loss
Right.
by one or a win by the other puts them in. Yeah. So I don't think winning a division is at issue right now. It's that
No.
number 2 seed, But just kills me that if all they needed to do 2 weeks ago was take care of business against Seattle, and they didn't do it, and they would have been the number 1 seed right now and really sitting pretty.
But they haven't played a complete game all year. That's what it comes down to. The turnovers and not being able to play a complete game all year.
Yeah.
But look at it this way. Let's say they're number 1 seed, right? Most probably they end up playing the Dallas in the second round.
Yeah, in the division round.
Yeah, so I don't know, man. I mean, the thing is that probably they'll be better at playing against the Lions than they're playing against Dallas.
Yeah, it seems like the number 2 seed might be the better
Yeah.
way to go.
Well, it almost, if San Francisco wins out, this is the way it looks to me. If San Francisco wins out and Dallas wins their first playoff game, I would say it's a shoo-in that they're at San Francisco.
Yep.
For the semifinal,
Yeah.
for the NFC semifinal.
And
That's
the
the way it's setting up
And the Lions
Yeah.
will be
in Philly or vice versa. A lot of it. Yeah. Well, put it
They
this
should,
way. If
unless
Dallas-
there's an upset, unless the 7 or 6 seed were to win, or to beat the Eagles or Lions.
yeah.
Because then the highest remaining seed would go to San Francisco, but there's always that wacky upset in that division round. There's always that, whether it's the 6-3 matchup, which the 6-3 matchup right now would be the Rams and Lions.
okay. Right now, if it stays like this, San Francisco number 1, right? Eagles number 2, Detroit Lions number 3, Tampa number 4, Cowboys number 5, Rams number 6, and Seattle number 7.
Oh, that's
So
right.
for this first round, Seattle will come to Philly to play
We
the
should
Eagles.
beat, Eagles should beat them.
That's correct. LA Rams gonna go to Detroit to play against Detroit, and Dallas gonna go to Tampa. So most probably Dallas gonna beat Tampa, and Rams. I'm not sure. Let's say Rams Detroit.
The Rams could beat Detroit. The Rams, they got, they could win.
No doubt. No
So,
doubt.
okay.
I'd
so
rather play Seattle than the Rams in the
And
wild card.
then for the next round, you're gonna have Dallas going to San Fran. You're gonna have either the Rams or Detroit coming to Philly, right? And then for the NFC Championship game, hopefully it's gonna be in San Francisco. The Eagles in San Fran.
Well, if the Rams were to win, wouldn't
Yeah.
wouldn't they
If the
go to
Rams,
San Fran?
if the Rams were to win, they would go to San Francisco.
And then
They would be
the Eagles
and
would
then
have.
Dallas would come here, which would be awesome.
I don't want that scenario.
I don't want that.
No,
The whole
I
week
don't
would
want
be
it either.
I would, but
I-
the whole week would be fun. It'd be just Dallas week all week.
Yeah. Whenever they play Dallas, it's always Dallas week.
But I want to play
I'm
the
not so sure we even win this week. So
Rams. So maybe you're not.
no, Jonathan Gannon he's going to expose Sirianni and Brian Johnson.
See, I'm worried about the following week against the Giants in New York.
Lose that too.
Yeah,
Well, you're playing a team 2 out of 3 weeks, and they
that's
already
the
know
tough,
you.
yeah.
It's a good point, Jimmy. It's really hard to win twice.
And
The
let
Saints-
alone in 3 weeks.
Yeah. Well, remember they beat them 3 times last year. They were able to do it last
Yeah.
year.
Yeah,
But you could see that the Giants are on a whole different level than the Philadelphia Eagles are. They just don't. They're just not a very talented group, and they don't have a quarterback right now. That's the biggest thing. They just do
And
not have a quarterback, and
and
that's why I give the Rams a real chance here, because they got a quarterback with a live arm. Stafford is throw the football, and he's got
and they got
a
weapons.
couple of really good receivers. So I give them every chance in the world, and they're playing at a very high level right now, and very well coached too. I like their coach.
McVay.
Yeah, he's a very
Yeah,
good
he's a
coach.
good coach.
Yeah. So let's go to predictions. Vahe, let's start with you.
Who won before we go there? Who won last week? Do we know?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, I had the Eagles winning 28-10, I think. So I definitely had
Yeah,
that.
I had them losing, so
you're out.
Bye. I think you
Shout out
were.
to you, Vahe.
That's
Oh.
why Vahe wanted to know, I'm sure.
Seriously, I have no idea.
Yeah,
I
I
knew-
no idea, but
I
knew-
definitely had the
so
Eagles winning
close.
28-10. So I had to win them by 18 points. So
I knew
obviously wasn't right.
I didn't think that's going to be a blowout, but anyway, but I don't remember exact numbers. So for this week, I think they're going to come and I think they're going to beat them like 31-10. I think what's his name? I think they're finally going to get their act together. I mean, even yesterday's game, could have easily been blown out, except for like a couple of mishaps. But I think Arizona is pretty much checked out. They're looking for like the second or the third best, pick.
draft
So
pick. Yeah.
with 31-10.
What do you got, Will? 30, what do you got, 30-10? Will?
30-11.
No, I'm thinking like 24-17 Cardinals.
Wow.
Oh,
Will.
my God. Oh, my God. Jimbo, what do you got?
I'm going to go 27-17 Eagles.
Okay, 27. All right, I'm going to go off the grid here. I do think this is going to be their complete game. I just think that a lot of the players do not like Gannon, and they're also probably tired of hearing all the crap that they hear on sports radio about the way they're playing. And I really do believe that they have at least one complete game in them. And I think this could be the game. And I know Murray's going to be tough to handle if he's 100% healthy in that game. But I just see them clicking on all cylinders this week. I can't say about next week, but I'm going to go. What did you say, Vahe? 31-10?
Yeah,
That's about what I would pick.
you could go 30-11.
I'll go 35-10. 35-10.
Wow.
Yeah, I just think that they're going to come out blazing this week. And I have a funny feeling that pregame speech by Sirianni for once is really going to work. But, they're still going to be experimenting because they don't know who a lot of their starters are going to be at some of the real critical defensive back positions this week. And also, there's also an outside chance that Maddox plays this week because his 21-day window opened last week. So, but I just got a funny feeling that that's what's going to happen. So, before we check out here, any last minute thoughts? Anything that we're missing?
I just think we might see another pick six this week
For or against the Eagles?
against the Eagles.
I guess.
Of course.
Of course. Oh, well, they lose to Arizona. Oh, my God. If they
Before we
lose
get
to, if they
Brace
lose to
yourself,
JG, they shouldn't even go to the playoffs.
Brace
Yeah.
yourself.
Oh my God, that would be awful. Well, he's going to get booed
He's going to
mercifully
get killed.
the moment he steps out on the field. And it would be really interesting to see like the communication at the end of the game with the two head coaches. But then again, maybe they've been talking. Who knows? I mean, a lot of times it's hearsay what you hear with the two, but I just got that funny feeling that the atmosphere is pretty thick between the two of them there. But, Gannon getting that shot at the defensive coordinator job was really his ticket to get a head coach job, and Sirianni really helped him along the way. So, but I'm going to ask you this real quick before I get off the phone. We get off the line here, guys. Throw me a number. How many plays do you see Nolan Smith getting this week?
How many plays?
Yeah.
13,
3 plays, 5 plays.
10 to 15.
That's where I'm at. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm there. I think it's right in that area. I'm going to say about 12. And that's pretty good. He's moving up in the world.
He's going to be an impactful player for them. So
I hope so. But he needs to get stronger because he's getting blocked a lot, handily by some wide receivers that I've seen. So he needs to get bigger. So, all right.
Is
I'm gonna
Cunningham,
wrap this up.
is he playing? Is he?
With him, it's still it's his knee now, right? His knee, it was hamstring originally. Now I think it's his knee. So, knee
I
injury.
guess we'll
same
find
thing.
out Wednesday.
Yeah, we'll find out
Right.
Wednesday. But hey, that Ben Van Sumer, and he played respectable.
You know,
Not bad. I
You
think
look
he's
up-
going to get a shot next year. I really do.
Well, what's it called? Shaq Leonard looked really good.
yeah,
Oh, he did. Yeah, he did. But there were a couple plays that he was out of position. He didn't plug the right hole in a couple plays that they got, that Barkley got extra yardage on. But no, he played. His movement was really good. He's great moving forward. He's not so much backpedaling, but very good moving forward. And he's got a lot of juice in him. I like that too. All right, that's it. Let's wrap it up. Flying high with the birds. Philadelphia Eagles talk. See ya.
See you guys.
All right,
You guys.
Talk
guys.
to you later.
Yeah.